That sound you just heard was exactly what you thought it was. A room full of babies. It represents yesterday's production in the maternity ward of just one hospital. By midnight tonight, 11,000 new citizens will have joined the national cradle roll since 12 o'clock last night. That's our current rate of growth. 11,000 new American citizens every day. 77,000 every week. Today we have more than 165 million people in America. 20 years from now, by 1975, if the present birth rate continues, we will have 221 million. This increase in population is going to bring us countless problems. To begin with, we will need more food, more shelter. We will need to find 1 million new jobs each year, because that many new persons will enter the labor market each year. People and prosperity are not synonymous terms. High birth rates have brought misery, chaos, and starvation to many segments of the globe. But not to America, fortunately, because we have a free, competitive enterprise system, a system that is geared to grow as our population grows. If we keep this system, keep it free and unhandcuffed by the controls of government, the year 1975 will find us in an era of technological advancement far superior to the wonders of today that were the dreams of yesterday. It will be an age of progress achieved not in spite of our growing population, but because of it, and because of our free market economy. To show you that this optimistic outlook is not my opinion alone, I would like to have you join me over here at this crystal ball. It was given to us by some of the leading American industries, and it contains their predictions for our future. Now come a little closer. This is 1975, and here we go. What about the food supply? The fertilizer industry says that today's arable farmland divides into individual shares of about 2¼ acres per American. By 1975, this individual share will have shrunk to about 1¾ acres. Does this mean we will have to be content with less food and less fiber? Not a bit. Your share of land in 1975 will produce as much or more food and fiber as today's larger acreage, because we are learning more and more how to overcome natural deficiencies of water and deficiencies of minerals necessary to the growth of plants. We already know how irrigation can transform a desert into cropland, but new commercially produced plant foods, compounded like a doctor's prescription, will make our soils yield the finest quality of product in teeming abundance and at lower cost. Increased yields per acre will mean more prosperity for the farmer and for everyone in 1975, an infinite variety of nutritious food at lower cost. Also, your grocery bill will reflect some cost-saving advances in the distribution of processed foodstuffs, such as the widespread use of moving belts and automatic loading devices in food warehouses. The food chain industry says a punched card will tell an electronic machine that so many crates or cartons of a certain food are wanted at once, and the machine will do the rest. Your grocery store will probably look as though it has no doors. The entire store front may be open, with the outside separated from the inside by only a curtain of air, cool in summer, warm in winter, flowing from a vent in the ceiling to a grating in the floor. No outside air will penetrate the curtain, but of course you can pass through it as easily as if it were not there. You will probably be buying more prepackaged foods than you do today. Some of these will be equipped with chemical heating or cooling units that will enable you to cook or chill the product right in the package. And there will be no lengthy waiting at the checkout counter. An automatic computer will figure out your bill as the items you have bought pass under an electronic eye. So we bring home the bacon. And what kind of home will it be? The nation's home builders predict the exterior design will be, well, take your choice. It's safe only to say that what seems unconventional today will be conventional tomorrow. The major changes probably will be inside the home. As this scene demonstrates, many homes may do away entirely with walls between the living room, dining room, and kitchen. Some of the walls that are used, as in the bedroom area, will be of the storage type, with built-in dressing tables and plenty of space for clothing. The outer walls will be glass, because these bedrooms will open out onto private terraces. Indoor living and outdoor living will be on even cozier terms in the house of tomorrow. Forget the rectangular outline in the center of this scene. It is merely to give you the general location of the house. The important thing here is the arrangement for indoor-outdoor living, which will become as much a part of the home as the house itself. Still looking at the home of 20 years hence, the nation's private electric companies predict that there will be available for each home enough electricity to do the work of 100 servants. High-frequency beams and refinements of existing electrical devices will light up your life. Enter a darkened room, wave your hand before a light control panel, and the room will suddenly be flooded with light. No switches, no buttons. The intensity of the lighting will be controlled the same way. Wave your hand again, and fluorescent lights will drench the decorations and the furniture with blending or contrasting colors. Or maybe you prefer another color. Numerous combinations will be available simply at a wave of the hand. You will not need to get up to close the windows when it starts to rain. Electricity will do that job for you. Automatic eyes will close windows and doors as the weather changes and control home temperatures the same way. You will probably have a dishwasher and clothes washer in which ultrasonic waves will do the cleaning without mechanical agitation. High-frequency radiation will dry the dishes and the clothes and sterilize them. Twist a dial and the clothes will move into an adjoining automatic ironer. From the electronics industry comes a prediction that you will be able to change channels on your TV without leaving your chair. Here you see the television set of tomorrow, a thin wall screen controlled remotely from a small box on a table. And that other gadget is a portable electronic refrigerator. There will also be a portable version of the thin screen TV set, such as this one in use at the beach. Amid such surroundings, though, it's rather doubtful that the American male, even in 1975, will devote much attention to television. And how do you like your indoor weather? Electronic wall and ceiling panels will cool your rooms or warm them as you desire. In the kitchen, ice cubes will come from a freezing and cooling unit in which the temperature is lowered by panels of tiny thermojunctions. These panels will also be utilized in the electronic deep freeze in the background. With the electric current reversed, similar panels will produce heat for the warming drawers near the table, and electronic exhausts without fans or other moving parts will expel cooking odors and stale air. And for home entertainment, you can use a tape recorder and a portable TV camera to record pictures on tape and play them back on the family's picture frame TV. And of course, you will wear a two-way wrist radio, so Dick Tracy will have nothing on you. If you like music, you can look forward to a wider use of the electronic music synthesizer, operating from a coded paper tape on which is punched the musical score. This device will respond with the complete tonal effect of a full symphony, a tenor solo, a four-piano quartet, or a blues combo from Lower Basin Street. It will even produce musical sounds never before heard. Now, here comes the gas industry with still other miracles for our future way of life. The new Freedom Gas Kitchen of tomorrow will provide a single wall prefabricated as a unit, holding a complete array of built-in appliances operated by dials and push buttons. Gas incinerators will appear and then disappear at your lightest touch. Dial-controlled hot water faucets will serve water at any desired temperature. The gas industry proposes to revolutionize the preparation and preservation of foods. The gas refrigerator will emerge from the wall or retract at a touch of the finger. Hidden cooking units with flush surfaces will appear instantly when needed. The gas heat pump will satisfy every temperature whim of any family, winter-wise or summer-wise, and will also provide a constant supply of hot water. Precision-controlled gas will fuel many of our industrial plants, and whether slow baking or high-speed heating is required, gas will be well suited to the automatic factory of the future. You might think that we may run out of gas with all the expanded usage, but the industry says no. Deeper drilling and wider exploration will tap vast sources of natural gas, and revolutionary new processes will transform plentiful raw materials into manufactured gas. At this point, we move to a preview of the city of tomorrow, as envisioned by the cement industry, which predicts ever-expanding use of concrete for highways, streets, airfields, bridges, buildings. Here we move to a close-up view of the future heavy-duty superhighway, separated by multi-level structures and offering high-speed travel at maximum safety. How about a thin shell concrete roof spanning 500 feet without intermediate support? The cement industry tells us that this type of roof will be especially useful in transportation centers that coordinate rail, air, and bus facilities. Tomorrow's pre-stressed concrete bridge will span a wide distance without intermediate support. Even today, engineers are talking realistically about such bridges 500 feet long. Concrete buildings 40 stories tall, 10 stories higher than the tallest concrete structure in the United States today, will be commonplace because we are developing lightweight concrete of great strength. How's this for a civic center of the future? The concrete domed auditorium in the foreground will provide clear floor space the size of 2 football fields, and beneath it will be a mammoth parking garage. Within this city of the future, the conveyor manufacturing industry will help alleviate pedestrian and automotive congestion. At fringe parking lots such as this, drivers will leave their cars and step onto a conveyor belt that will carry them underground to continuously moving conveyor carriages that will transport them rapidly into the city proper. In the city, beneath the main shopping district, there will be an underground conveyor system which shoppers may use to move from store to store. After business hours, this same conveyor network will be used to deliver freight to stores from warehouses outside the downtown area. We can also expect to see conveyors in wide use at airports, railroad, and bus terminals. And perhaps the crowning touch will involve the use of conveyors in the stadium of tomorrow to take you up before the game and to take you down after the last whistle blows. Conveyors will also serve many kinds of industry in a variety of new ways. We can expect to see a 20th century version of the old-fashioned covered bridge, a covered 2-way industrial conveyor extending for miles across the countryside, freighting raw materials in one direction and finished products the other. Enter now the nation's steel industry, looking ahead to ever-increasing productivity. A wide variety of improved steels will make possible a gas turbine-powered automobile on a mass production basis. Even more highly specialized steels may aid in developing an atomic-powered automobile, which will be equipped with electronic devices to alert the driver to road conditions far ahead, plus an automatic brain that will park the car, something we could all use. Office buildings, sheathed in stainless and porcelain enameled steels, will add majestic splendor to our skylines. All steel homes, expandable, portable, and fireproof, will be mass-produced for low and middle-income groups. And you can have a steel swimming pool behind the house. Some new types of steel will be a major factor in developing atomic power plants, opening new frontiers for modern-day pioneers, new homes, new business, new industry. Other new kinds of steel will be used in jet or nuclear-powered airliners. And new steels that are able to withstand temperatures and corrosive conditions never before experienced, will enable huge man-carrying rockets to knife through the Earth's atmosphere into outer space. Our conquest of space will begin with the establishment of space stations, fully manned and intricately equipped, supply and launching bases for further exploration into the mysteries of space. There's one mystery, though, for which the steel industry predicts no solution. It seems there's no hope for creating a golf club that is guaranteed to cure a slice. What about lumber? The lumber industry predicts that live growing trees will be injected with hormones, radioactive materials, and other stimulating substances to pre-season the wood, create fire-resistant qualities, and of all things, to stain the wood in desired colors while the tree is still growing. Logger-type helicopters like this will be used to remove trees from deep canyons and steep mountainsides, areas where timber once was inaccessible. In tomorrow's sawmill, the sawyer will have a mammoth TV screen showing him the log as it arrives in the outside cutting room, and an X-ray picture of the grain of the log to guide him as he positions it for the best separation. The log will be sliced by an invisible cutting ray, leaving the board smooth, edged, planed, and producing no sawdust. One of lumber's many uses will be in the widespread application of the trussed rafter, which eliminates the necessity of propping up the roof and ceiling of a house with interior walls. This will make the walls movable, either manually or by electricity. Comes now the transportation industry, with its forecasts for the most traveling people in the world. The railroad industry predicts that radar impulses will transmit signals to locomotives, as well as to track side switch controls, contributing to ever safer train movement. There also may be several new types of articulated passenger trains, characterized by lighter weight, plus an ability to negotiate curves at greater speeds. Some of these trains may be pulled by atomic-powered locomotives. The Atomic Energy Commission already has approved the proposal of at least one railroad company to explore this possibility. Inside the new train, you will find floating chairs, hideaway tables, and adjustable partitions to create a semi-private compartment for your own party. Hidden conveyor tubes will bring your food and beverage, and conveyor aisles may help you get from one car to the next. Here's the train for the rail commuter, domed and double-decked with lots of color, lots of chrome, and every convenience short of a swimming pool. In this triple-decked classification yard of the future, where thousands of freight cars will be sorted and rearranged into new patterns of outbound traffic, cars will be switched electronically to the proper tracks, and TV cameras will provide for long-range inspection and recording of all cars. Well, what's this? You might call it a new version of the old song about working on the railroad. Here's a conception of a machine that will take up old track and lay down new, while at the same time it will widen and grade the roadbed, ditch for proper drainage, pull and drive spikes, replace old cross ties with new ones, and replace and tamp rock ballast under and around the cross ties. In its spare time, I suppose it waits on tables or makes a fourth at bridge. We sometimes think the future is already here in the aircraft industry, but the industry says not. It has all kinds of new wonders on its drawing boards. For example, a jet-propelled freight plane capable of carrying a 100-ton payload at a speed of 600 miles an hour. For the air traveler, 200 passenger airliners will make the Washington to Paris flight in less than 3 hours at 1,200 miles an hour and 50,000 feet up. For a short flight, say from your suburban home to your downtown office, you can take a 30-passenger helicopter at a neighborhood terminal and get to work at 3 miles a minute. The plane for in-between distances, as from Washington to Chicago, may turn out to be the first practical flying saucer. This will carry 100 passengers at speeds of 600 miles an hour. Coming back to Earth, we find the truck and trailer industries predicting that trucks like this will operate cross-country in specially constructed truck lanes. Some tractors will pull more than one trailer, and the trailers will have clear plastic tops admitting light for the benefit of freight handlers. The power for this high-speed vehicle will come from an atomic power plant under the driver's quarters in the tractor. Nuclear fission will generate electric power that will be transmitted to individual electric drive motors on each axle. Inside the cab will be new safety devices, such as this small screen TV on the instrument panel, to give the driver and his relief man a view of everything on both sides and in the rear. Your personal transportation may look like this. At least one automotive engineer predicts this styling for the car you will use for in-town driving. It will carry 4 people in fixed seats. It will be about the same size as today's car, although much lower, and will have its power plant in the rear. For long distance traveling, the car of tomorrow will be faster, larger, and even more luxurious. This highway cruiser will be much lower and wider than today's automobile. Longer, too, measuring perhaps 20 feet. It will provide safe, ultra-high-speed transportation over a network of limited-access superhighways. Here's another version of the highway cruiser. If it appears that the driver is not paying attention to the road, he isn't. Electronic guidance and obstacle warning devices will keep the car under control and will eliminate the need for a driver once the car is on the highway and headed in the right direction, which will often be toward a hotel. Tomorrow's hotel will feature a drive-in entrance for guests who arrive by car, and elevators will carry the car, baggage, and the customers upstairs. All guest rooms will be on the building's outer ring. The interior is for parking purposes. Guests arriving by helicopter will, of course, find parking space on the roof. In the hotel kitchen, individual packages of pre-cooked meat and vegetables, preserved by irradiation, will be heated in electronic heaters, and seconds later, the food will move on conveyors to the waiter's pickup spot. Present methods of patrol and reporting for maximum guest security will be replaced by television cameras hidden in the decorations at the ends of all hotel corridors. Monitor screens for these cameras will be located in the hotel's central office. By pressing a button in the guest bathroom, you can sanitize the room and all its fixtures instantly with an odorless and harmless gas. Under the sink will be an automatic washing machine and dryer. The bedroom will feature a control panel which will enable you to regulate the softness or firmness of your mattress. Food, beverages, newspapers, and other small items will be delivered by pneumatic tube, which will not suggest a tip. Telephone calls will be accompanied by a TV picture of the party at the other end, but picture transmission will be subject to individual control. If your party has just stepped out of the shower, you probably won't even get a test pattern on your screen. In spite of all we have shown you, our most important development, our most important product of the future, will still be the product of our schools. Tomorrow's children will find their schools more beautiful, more useful, situated on larger sites, with more outdoor work and play areas. As this scene shows, it will be common practice to separate various school activities in specialized buildings. Self-contained classrooms such as this will be equipped for the use of films, television, recordings, literally to bring the world into the classroom. The furniture will be flexible, healthful, and comfortable. The working area at the right will be adaptable as a stage for classroom dramatizations. The design and equipment of tomorrow's schools, plus the essential efforts of well-qualified teachers, will be aimed at maximum development of all of our children, whose hands and minds must be ready to accept the responsibility and the challenge of the future. Well, there you are. With the help of industry's crystal ball, you have just seen a preview of America's next 20 years. Under the free enterprise system, these new products and services are distinct probabilities. You know that's true because some of them are fairly close to what you already have. Under any other economic system, they would hardly be even possibilities. These new developments of tomorrow will do much more than make for comfortable, enjoyable, and luxurious living. They will also create needed new jobs, keep our economy dynamic, our country moving ahead, provided we continue to give men and women incentive to work and produce, provided we make it possible for people to save a part of their earnings, provided we make it profitable and worthwhile for them to invest their savings in productive tools and equipment, and provided we make these other provisions reality by continuing to work together through trade and professional associations, through local and state chambers of commerce, and through the Chamber of Commerce of the United States. If we can do this, and there's no reason why we cannot, 1975 will not be a stopping point. There will be no standing still for us here in America. So long as we maintain our free market economy, our American way of life, each new threshold we attain will be only a springboard to still another threshold. One thing to remember, there will still be a great future, even in 1975.